Keanu Reeves has recently become a bit of a phenomenon, perhaps in part simply due to the fact that his notoriety has shifted with the release of a third John Wick movie or his voice acting in Toy Story 4. But people are claiming his overall good demeanor are what's causing the fuss. I think in a world that seems filled with a lot of combativeness and uncertainty, a person such as Keanu, who is in the spotlight, gives people hope that there is such a thing as goodness. From a man who has experienced a lot of tragedy, it is reassuring to see what seems to be a high moral standard. As the Josie Bates reader on Brain and Learning addresses, not everyone has emotional sensitivity, citing that some people who do the worst things to their culture and their people hold high degrees from universities. Reeves, on the other hand, was moved from school to school before eventually dropping out and never finishing high school to pursue acting. But he seems to be held by American culture as someone with high moral standards. These assumptions come from news sources that have repeatedly shown Reeves with female fans not touching but hovering around their backs. The argument to this goodness being that he does not want to push boundaries or disrespect any female fans. In a time of the Me Too movement, this is an astute social awareness of his. Along with this emotional sensitivity, he has also shown camaraderie with people by sacrificing his earnings to ensure his cast received good pay. For the Matrix movies, he forwent his box office earnings, hoping instead that people on set would make a better wage.
I came to realize the obviousness of the truth. What is the Matrix? Control. The Matrix is a computer-generated dream world, built to keep us under control in order to change a human being into this.
No. I don't believe it. It's not possible.
I didn't say it would be easy, Neo. I just said it would be the truth.
Stop. Let me out. Let me out. I want out.
Easy, Neo.
Get this thing out of me. Get this thing. Don't touch me. Get away from me. Stay away from me. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
It's gonna pop.
Breathe.
Just breathe.
This act brings us back to Josie Bates' reader's description of wisdom. Like emotional sensitivity, wisdom requires the wise to think of the greater good. What may have been good for him in the above situation wasn't great for the rest of his team.
Now, a motion picture so grand, so magnificent, and so vast, it spans 7,000 years.
No way! Yes way!
But it starts with Bill.
I'm Bill S. Preston!
Who was Joan of Arc?
And Ted.
Noah's wife? We're in danger of flunking most heinously tomorrow.
A force from the future.
Can we go anywhere we want at any time?
You can do anything you want.
Is putting history at their fingertips.
Let's reach out and touch someone.
They're traveling through time.
How's it going, Royal Ugly Dudes?
Put them in the Iron Maiden.
Excellent!
Execute them.
Bogus. How's it going, dude?
Speclet, stay au l'air.
And they're making a big impression.
Historical babes.
Now they're home.
Everybody get together, remember who your buddy is.
To trash the 20th century.
We got a live one here.
Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, Napoleon.
We're from history.
Billy the Kid.
Oh my God.
Joan of Arc. Sigmund Freud.
Tell me about your mother.
You a musician?
Beethoven.
Genghis Khan!
Abraham Lincoln,
Party on, dudes!
Socrates, George Carlin,
We're history.
If you guys are really us, what number are we thinking of? 69, dudes!
Bill and Ted's
Excellent! Excellent!
Excellent Adventure.
Party on, dude.
To understand where Reeves comes from, like most superheroes, we have to dive into his origin story. Without getting too involved, Keanu Charles Reeves was born to an English costume designer and a Chinese Hawaiian convict. His parents fell in love while Reeves' mother taught English to prisoners. When Reeves was 3 years old, his father abandoned the family, and his mother remarried 4 more times. If Megan Gunnar, cited in our text, is correct, and resiliency has to do with familiar security, it is somewhat of a miracle that Reeves is as level-headed as he seems today. Perhaps one of his saving graces is that he grew up around art. Between his mother doing costume design, one of his stepfathers being a director, and another being a rock music promoter, Reeves was immersed in the arts. The arts, as we have learned, contribute to a deeper comprehension of humanity. As our book reads, the arts contribute to the education of young children by helping them realize the breadth of human experience. Despite his success in Hollywood at a young age, Reeves' life was not cake. A relatively secretive celebrity, a few of his relationships were known, one of which was to Jennifer Syme, with whom he had a child. Unfortunately, the child was born a month early, stillborn, and the relationship dissolved quickly. Not long, roughly 2 years, after, Syme died in a car accident after ingesting multiple drugs and alcohol. While Reeves has not addressed the situation publicly, he took a break from acting. This was during his Matrix years, and since then he has alluded to the loss of her in his interviews, the loss of Jennifer and his child. Famously, on the Colbert Report, he was asked, "What happens to us when we die, Keanu?" And Reeves responded,
What do you think happens when we die, Keanu Reeves?
I know that the ones who love us will miss us.
After all this research on Keanu Reeves, I began to wonder, what would his personality type be? So I walked through Nardi's steps to figure out exactly what I thought it would be if I were to test Reeves. I decided to go with INFP. The way in which Reeves listens when he is being interviewed and takes his time with his responses. He does not interrupt. Instead, there is somewhat what feels like an awkward silence between question and answer. He listens in what Nardi refers to as a holistic way. He carefully curates his speech and his response, and the weight of his voice feels like a blanket. To go back to the Josie Base reader, I think it's telling that Reeves is so important right now, because I think people, and maybe specifically women, are looking for a male figure to look up to. Our book discusses the inherent fragility of the male learning brain. There's one sentence that reads, "Now that our culture has opened the door of understanding to men's and boys' bodies and feelings, we are ready to understand a crucial element of human brain biology. The male learning brain is inherently fragile. Men are not tough guys who can't cry, and I think Reeves is that embodiment right now. Not all men are in tune with their fragile learning brains, but Reeves seems to be. which I think makes him an easy target for adoration.
See you later, man. Nick. What do you want?
Shrimp and fries?
I mean, what do you want? Why do you keep hanging around here?
I need you to teach me.
Give me a break. Shrimp and fries. To go. Would you like something to drink with that, sir?
I'm serious.
I can see that you're serious. Forget it. Stick to tennis. I don't know, whatever you do good. Miniature golf. Number's 37.
You don't understand. I'm gonna learn to surf or break my neck.
What is it? You all of a sudden got this bug that you just have to go surfing? This is a line, right?
No. No. See, my whole life I've done things for other people. In high school, I played football because my old man expected me to. And my parents always figured I'd go to law school. So I did. Football scholarship, Phi Beta Kappa.
Is this gonna take a really long time?
Wait. So I'm a big hero to my folks, right? But 2 years ago, they were killed in a car wreck. You can't imagine it. Your whole life changes. And I suddenly realized that all my goals had been their goals. And I hadn't been living my own life. So I wanted something for myself. So I come out here from Ohio a month ago. I've never seen the ocean before. Any ocean. I never thought it would affect me so much. I'm drawn to it. Or something. I want to do what you do. It's the truth.
All right. Okay. Tomorrow, here, 6 a.m. If you are 1 minute late, I'm gone. And stud, I didn't take you on to raise, so I'll teach you a few things, and then after that, you're gonna be on your own, okay? God.